vehicles and they remain undetected. This is a large vehicle, as you said. It has tinted windows. There could be multiple people inside. We just don't know. So what are the contingencies that they're prepared for here?
Well, what they have is Plan A, B, and C. Plan A is to do the felony traffic stop, where they'll call the driver out of the vehicle and subsequently any other passengers. Plan B is that maybe the guy doesn't give up, and now they have a barricade situation. And Plan C is that he takes off further and they have to reinitiate a more dangerous pursuit. So they're planning on all these things.
Yeah, they certainly are. Another update, again, we are still in Alhambra, but we are going southbound on Fremont. So again, while we kind of keep watching this driver, not a very high-speed pursuit. We've also been noticing that, but there's obviously a large gathering right there.
It looks like kids in the park watching a movie or something, maybe.
Yeah, their blankets are out and everything. You see that big
well, they're just luckily just passing on by.
Kidding.
Keep going here. And then there's a great shot right there of the rim of the passenger side. It looks the same on the driver's side. So this vehicle is a bit of a mess right now. And you know, we have seen some of these pursuits, Bruce. They try to get into a parking garage where they're undetectable when it comes to the helicopter, et cetera. This guy is not going to get anywhere with this vehicle the way it is he?
Yeah, I don't think Alhambra, at least in that general area, having been there, I don't think they have those type of parking garages like they do downtown, which, as you pointed out, David, they have gone in those things and then become lost to law enforcement. I think at this point, this vehicle is just going to have to start disintegrating more. And because it's a heavier vehicle, these rims might be at a heavier quality, a heavy caliber.
Yeah.
So that might just be causing a little bit of issues for law enforcement.
Well, that could be. Yeah. So in other words, they may last longer than we had hoped.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do have rush hours, so the speeds are lower, which is good for public safety.
No kidding. And the driver, David, again, we've been noticing the driver has not been making many erratic moves. So that at least puts people, the community, at kind of at peace there, as opposed to them flying where you're just holding your breath the whole time. Weirdly, this is a very gentle pursuit so far. It hasn't been weaving in, going into oncoming traffic or anything like that. Just driving, but clearly this person does not want to pull over. And you can't see inside. You do not know how many people are inside this vehicle.
Yeah, and stopping could be a real issue too with the vehicle on rims. And we don't know. It's hard to tell if it's running stop lights and stop signs or not, but I'm seeing it go through successive intersections without slowing down or stopping. And that could be eventually an issue on the street. Again, we are in Alhambra. You can see there's a lot of folks out about driving around in the Alhambra area, but luckily this guy is keeping it slow.
Yeah, heading towards Garvey, by the way. We're getting told by our producers, letting us know
Garvey.
Sort of, the movements of the car or this SUV of this pursuit. So heading still on Fremont, but heading towards Garvey.
Okay.
And a popular area, obviously.
Yeah, in a neighborhood as well. So you could see that there's homes on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So it's a well-populated area here on Garvey and Alhambra. And this person going very slowly. We don't know what's going on the inside. Obviously, maybe that person is on the phone talking to somebody, negotiating something. We're not sure. Nevertheless, I guess the CHP, Bruce, is just going to stay on top of this. Maybe there will be a transfer someday or some moment.
There might be if he continues on the streets. As Alhambra PD is in the area, sheriffs are monitoring also through the mutual aid on the helicopter. What you may see also is CHP may decide when the area is right, meaning a wide open street, not with a lot of cars on it, a good operational area, to do another pit maneuver. And the reason I say that is CHP has gone to bigger vehicles.
Okay.
So it may out.
They may be able to handle that, a large vehicle like this. Well, they did try it that one time, and it looked like they were going to get it. So maybe they'll try it again, especially at these speeds, because you need a slower speed, don't you, to operate a pit maneuver?
Yeah, ideally a lower speed is ideal because you can hit the vehicle, and it is hitting the vehicle. It's an accident, controlled, spin it out of control so the engine shuts off, or it's been pushed in an area that it can't operate, and then you force your vehicle against that vehicle to pin them in. But it is a controlled accident. It does take some practice.
Right. So that's an example of how difficult it is to see in that vehicle. So we pushed in the driver, but you could barely see anything at all, just very slight movement, but it's tinted all the way around. And I imagine, Bruce, that's part of the reason why some of these tents are illegal.
Yeah, because, the old adage, what sane person would walk on a vehicle at 2:30 in the morning and do a traffic stop? Well, that's why we don't have tinted windows, so we as police officers can see inside the vehicle and not, walk up on a vehicle. I hate to use the word afraid, but with a heightened sense of alertness. Yeah.
Absolutely. But again, you can't really see inside this vehicle at all. I can't even see really in the dash, the windshield as well. It's really hard to make out any activity inside this vehicle. Sometimes you really see erratic hand gestures or them talking on the phone or what have you. But this, you can't. David, can you make anything out in the front of this? I haven't been able to.
No, I can't see anything. And clearly, they're holding off and doing a pit maneuver. They're not going to do a pit maneuver. But Bruce, what about perhaps hitting it with another spike to get the back tires? Is that a possibility, and does that help the situation?
Yeah, very much so, because now you'll have deflated the rear too, and so in essence you're riding on rims, which means the vehicle may not have the traction that it needs. So we may see a second deployment of a spike strip, provided that he or she drives along the same type of streets often enough where they can put that out.
Yeah, there's a good, the tread is barely hanging on the driver's side, and most of it is gone. So yeah, this is a mess. It would be interesting to see them try a spike, and just to get this to come to a conclusion, as those back tires are doing all the work, and if they lose those, then clearly, yeah, there's not a whole lot left.
Yeah, the vehicle is it's a larger, heavier vehicle, and so that may be working for the suspect, as the vehicle has the torque in the engine to drive those rims.
Look at the people outside of their houses again. Obviously, clearly they are monitoring the pursuit themselves. Not sure if this person knows this area because they are back in Monterey Park. They were northbound on Vagabond, but I think that they made a little turn. So they're very close to this area. But yeah, we can see that this is a residential area.
Yeah, clearly. Narrow streets. Bear with us as we kind of figure this out. It's right behind on that street. So this is an elevated, the houses you see in the front here, it's an elevated hillside. There's the pursuit right below it on the hill, downhill from those houses you see in the foreground.
This is on a Bajo, by the way.
A Bajo, okay.
Yeah.
So very tight. You see the folks are aware of this pursuit. They know it's going through their neighborhood. They're coming out to look at it. A total residential area right now. And there's that hillside I was talking about on the left-hand side. So this vehicle is kind of winding through this neighborhood. I haven't seen any redundancy in the driving of this vehicle. I don't know if this is a strange area for the driver or if they know this area, but we haven't seen them repeating like we often see in some pursuits where they kind of like to stay in an area that they know well. This guy doesn't seem to be backtracking at all. Looks like
the other thing, David, if you look at if Air 7 HD pulls out wider, you notice there's 3 CHP vehicles, but behind it there is a parade of citizen vehicles behind it, which is going to cause a problem for officers.
Oh boy. Is it possible they're just trying to get to their homes, or are they actually following this thing? That would be something. And there's a family out for a walk, watching this situation, noticing the car on rims and the CHP after it. I'm sure it's lights and sirens, right, to give people an idea and a warning that they're coming.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, like we were talking about, is he's on a residential street, and he's going up in the hills. Does this dead end? Does it have a cul-de-sac? And are those people just trying to get home, and this is the only way in and the only way out?
Right.
Right. That's the problem. I mean, because you would like to assume they are just trying to get home. I can't. But again, I don't want to.
Okay, so Let me just say this real quickly. We are quickly approaching 6:30 p.m., so our live coverage of this police pursuit continues on our ABC7 streaming channel. You could watch live right now on our website, on your phone, on your connected TV, anywhere you stream ABC7 Los Angeles.
And here on TV, we are going to turn things over to David Muir for World News Tonight. Again, join us back here tonight for Eyewitness News at 11 p.m. for an update on this pursuit and all the rest of the breaking news that we cover this evening.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yeah, no problem. You got it.
Bruce, yes. All right, you're watching our live streaming newscast at 6:30 right now. This is an end of a pursuit. This is happening in Monterey Park. You can see the driver was driving kind of in circles in this area on a bajo in Monterey Park. And now the police, they really kind of cornered this person because they must not know this area very well because they went into a cul-de-sac. Their front rims they're on rims basically in the front tires because they hit a spike strip earlier and they just hit another spike strip. Now you can see, what is this driver going to do? Are they going to get out of the car? Are they going to keep police trying with their guns drawn? Also joining us during this pursuit is Bruce Thomas. He's also a law enforcement expert. He joins us many, many times on pursuits. Bruce, I'm not sure if you can see what's happening, but the Highway Patrol has continued with this despite it being in Monterey Park. And you can see that they are right up against this vehicle that they have been pursuing for at least an hour or so on reports of a stolen vehicle. So what is going on now? We can see that they are radioing, obviously. Ooh, what's that he pulled out? Do you see that, Bruce? He pulled out something that looked like a long stick. Are you there? Ooh.
What we thought may
Oh, he's
happen
breaking the
to
windows, Bruce.
Oh, an ass. He's got an ass. They're going to break the windows out.
Yeah, they just did.
The vehicle. Yeah, that's an ass, which is like a baton. It's an expandable baton.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that. I know that sounds crazy, but I've never seen them pull out something like, oh, what's that? Oh, he's trying to go, Bruce. There's so much smoke coming from his tires right now. He's not going anywhere.
This guy does not want to give up. I hate to say it's going to end poorly, but at this point, there's obviously a lot of irrational
I've never
behavior
seen
by
this.
the driver.
I've never seen a driver
so-
do this before, where they
Yeah,
just,
it's a rear-wheel drive vehicle. He's trying to gun it. He's not going to get past CHP, which has pinned him, and they may put another car behind him so he doesn't reverse. He might be trying to do that also.
I would say he's got to be trying to do something. He's obviously, it's not working going forward. I would say that it looks like they're possibly, well, I don't know. It almost looks like they're above, where they're just a little bit lopsided there.